All right, guys, it is coming up on 9:30 p.m. and we currently have a tornado warning for the Jackson, Mississippi metro area. And I do want to mention that this is an observed tornado that is on the ground right now in the Jackson, Mississippi metro area. And let me go on ahead and go over here to the radar. And this is an observed tornado that is coming into the downtown area of Jackson, Mississippi, as we speak. And there, of course, is your tornado and storm that is stretching from Clinton over to Jackson, Mississippi. Once again, I do want to remind you that this is an observed tornado that is on the ground right now in downtown Jackson, Mississippi. And so, once again, you've got your tornado that is stretching from Ridgeland all the way down to the Jackson, Mississippi metro area, and then over to Clinton, Mississippi right now. Also, if you are near the Brandon, Mississippi area, that is going to be the area of most concern right now. So, let me go on ahead in here and turn on velocity, and your possible tornado is going to be sitting up here really close to the Jackson and Pearl, Mississippi area. Now, let me go over here to correlation coefficient, and let me see exactly where the Weather Service is saying that this is. Okay, so a confirmed tornado was located near Bolton or near Clinton, moving to the east at 30 miles per hour. Emergency management confirmed tornado. All right, so this is not going to be a radar indicated. This is an emergency management confirmed tornado that is down on the ground in the Jackson, Mississippi metro area. And so, once again, this is going to be near the Bolton area and also the Clinton, Mississippi area as well. And of course, there is copious amounts of lightning with this storm moving into the Jackson, Mississippi metro area, damaging winds in excess of 70 miles per hour. Are possible with the storm. And let me go over here and check and see. Okay. Okay, so once again, this is a tornado warning that is observed for Madison, Rankin, and Hinds County. A confirmed tornado was located near Bolton or near Clinton, moving to the east at 30 miles per hour. That was at 10:26 p.m. And let me also see, they just had a wind gust to 60 miles per hour at the Jackson Field there in downtown Mississippi. So we've got a tornado warning that continues now for the area of Jackson, Mississippi. And this is going to be a confirmed observed tornado. All right. So we've got a confirmed tornado that is down on the ground somewhere in the Jackson, Mississippi metro area. And this is going to be near the area of Bolton and the area of Clinton, Mississippi. And so let me go over to correlation coefficient. And let me see if we can actually pick this thing out. All right, so there's Clinton. What's it? This thing is so close to the radar, I'm still not seeing anything that would indicate that this thing is down. However, the emergency managers did, of course, say that there was a tornado that was on the ground. And this, of course, is the live look at the EMA office right now in Jackson, Mississippi. As you can see, copious amounts of rain are hitting that area. This is going to be very close to the Brandon, Mississippi area, down here towards the Richland, Mississippi area. Now, this, of course, is going to be a little bit to the south of the actual tornado. And so your best bet of a possible tornado is going to be right there where the 25 corridor touches the 55 corridor. And it's going to be sitting somewhere right in about here, moving off towards this area, towards the airport of Jackson, Mississippi right now. And we are getting very close to the Brandon radar. But once again, this is an observed tornado from the emergency managers there in Bolton, Mississippi. And let me make sure. All right, so once again, this is Stephen Ray, and you are watching tornado coverage right now of a tornado that is on the ground right now, some Jackson, Mississippi area. All right, let's see. Okay, so the weather service in Jackson is saying that at the airport there was just a wind gust of 57 miles per hour. So of course that is going to be very strong winds coming into the Jackson, Mississippi area right now. And let me check. All right. So once again, for those of you watching, we've got a confirmed tornado that is on the ground. And once again, so apparently Jackson has the weather service in Jackson. Okay, so what you just heard is the weather service in Jackson just canceled the tornado warning for Hinds, Madison, and Rankin counties. All right, so here's the timeline of this tornado warning that was just canceled. All right, so at 10:19 p.m., the National Weather Service in Jackson issued a tornado warning for Jackson, Mississippi, which was observed. They continued the tornado warning at 10:26, and they just canceled the tornado warning as of 10:40 this evening. All right, so there's no active tornado warning right now. However, there is a strong thunderstorm worth winds of 70 miles per hour that is moving through the Jackson, Mississippi area right now. So, with that, I'm going to hold it here for just a little bit longer to see what we've got going on here in Jackson and to see if we can get any kind of ground truth or if we have any kind of damage that moved into the metro area as we speak. So let me go over here. All right. So, all right. Let me pull. All right. Let me go back to the radar. All right. So, what you're looking at is we have a new severe thunderstorm warning that encompasses the area of Ridgeland and Jackson, Brandon, all the way over to Forest, Mississippi. And as you can see now, a tornado was possible, and the new warning that goes all the way over to almost the areas of Newton, Mississippi, has winds in excess of 80 miles per hour with this destructive storm. So, once again, if you were in Leake, Jasper, Rankin, or Newton counties, as well as Smith, Scott, Neshoba, and Madison counties, you guys are underneath a severe thunderstorm warning until 11:45 for the potential of destructive winds for Jackson, Flowood, Brandon, and Pearl for damaging winds in excess of 80 miles per hour. All right, so if you are in the following areas of Morton, Palattahatchee, Puckett, Branch, Caddo, or Leesburg, your chance of seeing 80-mile-per-hour winds is going to be 10:45, which is in about 3 minutes. If you were in Polkville or Lena, your severe weather threat is going to be 10:50. If you are over towards the Walnut Grove or Forest, Mississippi area, your threat of 80-mile-per-hour winds is going to be 11 p.m. And then if you were over here towards the area of Burns or Steele, Mississippi at 11:05, and then moving over towards the Dixon area at 11:20. Remain alert for a possible tornadoes. Obviously, tornadoes can develop quickly from severe thunderstorms. If you spot a tornado, go in at once into a basement or a small central room in a sturdy shelter. Then once again, this is destructive winds in this storm of 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So once again, this is coming up on Brandon, Mississippi right now. And then, of course, it is going to go over towards the area of Pearl. Now, this is a live look at the Mississippi EMA office right there, really close to the Brandon, Mississippi area. And let's see what the winds are doing at that site right now. And as you can see right now, winds are gusting anywhere from 22 all the way up to, you saw a 47 mile per hour wind gust right there. The 5 minute was 49 miles per hour. So these storms are definitely packing quite a punch as they move from the Brandon, Mississippi area into the Morton and Forest area right now, and damaging winds of 80 miles per hour. I would go on ahead and treat this as a tornado warning and go on ahead and go to your safe place, because winds of 80 miles per hour are nothing to play around with. There, of course, is the tornado possible severe thunderstorm warning with damaging winds in excess of 80 miles per hour. And I'll go on ahead and put this into motion for you. And as you can see, the winds are screaming right now over the Brandon, Mississippi area. They are paralleling the 20 corridor, going from Pearl to Brandon, and then Palahatchee is next. Morton will be followed by Forest, and then getting over here towards the Hickory and Newton, Mississippi area, as well as Decatur. So the reason that I'm here is because we have winds in excess of 80 miles per hour bearing down on Brandon, Mississippi right now. And this, of course, is a very life-threatening situation. Anytime that you have winds coming in excess of 80 miles per hour. This is a major life-threatening situation. Once again, there, of course, is the line of wind. We've also got a severe thunderstorm warning a little bit further off to the south that includes the Hazelhurst and the northern extent of Brookhaven, Mississippi right now. But the most significant and severe threat and life-threatening is going to be right here along the 20 corridor from Brandon over to Morton, Forest, and then Newton, Mississippi. Now, let me go back over here and see what the Weather Service is saying. All right. Okay, so we've got another report at the Jackson, Mississippi airport. They are causing maintenance check indicator reports a wind gust to 60 miles per hour. So that was just right now at the Jackson Municipal Airport, right there in the heart of Jackson. They had a wind gust to 60 miles per hour. And the warning shows that we have winds in excess of 80 miles per hour that are moving towards the area of Brandon, and then Palahatchee, then to Morton, Forest, and Newton, Mississippi after that. So if you are in any of those places, I want you guys to go on ahead and treat this as a tornado warning and be in your safe place right now. Now, let me see. All right, these storms are moving east at 45 miles per hour. So I'm going to stop this and I'm going to put a storm track on this, moving right down the 20 corridor. It is going to be moving at 45 miles per hour, calculate. And there, of course, is the times of arrival. If you were in Rankin, Mississippi, it's going to be on top of you in 5 minutes. Palahatchee is going to be over you in 12 minutes. Morton in 24 minutes. Pulaski, Mississippi in 28 minutes. Forest, Mississippi in 38 minutes. And then getting down here towards the single settlement in 43 minutes. And a total population of this area is going to be roughly 17,000 people within the path of these 80 mile per hour winds. And if you were in Newton, Mississippi, it's going to be there in about an hour from now. So once again, this is a severe thunderstorm warning with 80 mile per hour wind gusts that are coming in here towards the Brandon, Mississippi area. Now, if you are in the Jackson, Mississippi metro area, I can go on ahead and give you guys the all clear, as the winds have calmed down on the backside from the Mississippi EMA. So they're on the backside of this now. So your wind line is going to be, and I can draw this for you, your extreme line of wind of 80 miles per hour is going to be sitting right here, and it's going to be moving towards the area of Palahatchee, and then Morton, Mississippi, you're up next. And then, of course, you've got Forest as well as Newton, Mississippi coming in here for the potential of an 80 mile per hour wind gust. And like I said, an 80 mile per hour winds, it doesn't matter if it's spinning around a tornado or it's moving in a straight line. It is going to do major damage to your property and trees and power lines. So that's why I want you guys to go on ahead and prepare for a tornado and treat this like a tornado and go on ahead and be in your safe place right now. That is the lowest floor of your home, near the center and away from windows. There, of course, is the massive line of wind. But the good news is, so far, no damage is being reported out of Jackson, Mississippi right now. Just very, very high wind reports coming out of the airport. We had multiple reports of winds upwards of 60 miles per hour at the airport there. But as of right now, as of 10:50, we've had no reports of any damage coming in from Jackson, which is really good news. But of course, that will be trickling in as we go further if there's any damage, because it's moving out of Jackson, moving towards the Pelahatchie area, and then of course Morton and Forest County, Forest area. You guys are going to be up next as well. Okay, so uh, ta, 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 ta. And so I'm checking with everything to make sure. And like I said, I've not heard of any damage that is coming in from Jackson, Mississippi right now, which is really good news. But of course, we've got winds in excess of 80 miles per hour that are coming through the Pelahatchie area right now. I'm checking with the Weather Service in Jackson. Okay, so like I said, I'm not seeing anything that would indicate that there are winds in excess that have done damage in the metro area of Jackson. And I really, really do want to thank all of the people that are watching this right now. And let me go ahead and do this for you. If you guys are watching me and want to continue to watch me, that's perfectly fine. But I do want to do a large view for you guys right now. We've got a line of storms that are through the Jackson, Mississippi area, pushing towards the Newton, Mississippi area. If you are watching me in Jackson, Mississippi, I can give you guys the all clear from this round of storms. However, we've got this batch to watch back here, and we've got more back here in Texas we've got to watch. Now, it does look like that maybe these down here near the Alexandria, Louisiana area, maybe those will stay south of the metro area and track down here towards Natchez and the Hattiesburg area along and south of the Jackson, Mississippi area. However, as of right now, I cannot rule out, but as of right now, I do want to let you know that if you were in Jackson, Ridgeland, Clinton, or even up here towards the Canton, Mississippi area, you guys are in the clear. The warnings have been allowed to expire. You are welcome to go back and do whatever you were doing before the weather came in. And like I said, if you guys want to continue to watch me, feel free to. But Jackson, Ridgeland, Clinton, and Canton, Mississippi, you guys are in the clear for right now for the winds of 80 miles per hour that are now moving towards the Pelahatchie area, as well as the Morton area and the Forest area. And basically, these storms are paralleling the 20 corridor and the 80 corridor as they are moving through the heart of central Mississippi. And I can put this into motion for you. And if it continues, it will wind up in the Meridian, Mississippi area here within about an hour or so. As a matter of fact, I can actually tell you when this is going to get to Meridian. All right, so if you are watching me in Meridian, Mississippi, 90 minutes from now, there it is right there, the one of the last ones, Meridian, 89 minutes, and it's going to be on top of you if it holds together. So about an hour and a half from now, this will be knocking on the door of Meridian, Mississippi. Now let me go back over here and see what Jackson just said. Okay. I believe that is for the southern storm. Okay, for the Hazelhurst area and the Brookhaven area, this one is a severe thunderstorm warning for damaging winds in excess of 60 miles per hour. I am not ignoring you guys down here in Hazelhurst, as your line of wind is going to be basically through the Hazelhurst area, through the Crystal Springs area, and moving down the 27 corridor, moving towards the Georgetown area, and moving towards the Beauregard and Wesson, Mississippi area. But this, of course, is only winds of 60 miles per hour. This up here towards the Brandon, Morton, and Forest area, this is going to be winds in excess of 80 miles per hour, and that could do some serious damage out there. Okay, so I do want to make a correction. I do want to make a quick correction. I know that the tag on this video says tornado warning for Jackson. However, that was the case when this video started. However, right now there's no active tornado warnings in Mississippi. However, we do have a pretty nasty severe thunderstorm warning with damaging winds in excess of 80 miles per hour that is about to push through the Pelahatchie area. And then, of course, it will get over here towards the Morton, Mississippi area along the 20 corridor. Forest is up next. And then, of course, you've got the Newton, Mississippi area as well. So all of these areas along the 80 corridor and, of course, along the 13 corridor, you guys are up next for the damaging, destructive winds in excess of 80 miles per hour in Clarksburg. This is going to be on top of you very, very soon. I figured we would. All right, so we're getting damage reports now coming in from Brandon, Mississippi. This is fire department and rescue. Trees were blown down on a house at Crossgates neighborhood. So our first damage report is coming in now from the Rankin County area of Brandon, Mississippi, of trees blown down on a house on Crossgate neighborhood. So once again, if you are near the Brandon, Mississippi area, trees and power lines are down near the Crossgates neighborhood. And that, of course, is the first report of damage that we have coming in from the metro area. And I will continue to watch this, of course, as the reports continue to come on in. All right. So once again, if you're just now joining me, this is Stephen Ray. I am a meteorology student up at Mississippi State, about to graduate with a broadcast meteorology degree in August. And we have a line of severe storms that are moving through the Morton, Mississippi area, as well as the Pelahatchie area. And you're not seeing that incorrectly. That says winds of 80 miles per hour, folks. These storms and these wind gusts are capable of producing winds in excess of 80 to 85 miles per hour. And that is very serious, and that is very destructive winds. And that is the reason that I'm here, is because winds of 80 miles per hour, whether they are spinning in a tornado or they hit your house coming in a straight line, they're going to do a lot of damage to your home, to your property, with trees and power lines down. So this is going to be a very serious situation coming in here towards the Pelahatchie area. And next up is going to be the Morton, Mississippi area as well. And I do note that the Weather Service in Jackson has dropped. You just saw the new update. The winds are now at 70 miles per hour, but that, of course, is still destructive. That is still on the upper limit of a severe thunderstorm warning. So that is why I'm going to stay here for a little bit longer, because this 70 to 80 mile per hour winds are definitely nothing to play around with when you are here in the late night and overnight hours as well. Okay, so the Weather Service has continued the severe thunderstorm warning on to the south for the areas down here towards the McGee and Taylorsville area. And this, of course, will go until midnight tonight if you were along the 49 corridor, which basically runs from Jackson, Mississippi, all the way down to Collins, Mississippi. If you were along the 49 corridor, including McGee or Taylorsville, Mississippi, also near Mendenhall, Mize, Taylorsville, or just north of Mount Olive, you guys are underneath a severe thunderstorm warning for damaging winds in excess of 60 miles per hour. And that, of course, goes until midnight tonight. And the most significant threat is going to be up here between the Morton, Forest, and Newton, Mississippi areas along the 20 corridor, and of course the 80 corridor right now. Now, I can tell you probably that Pelahatchie, I can pretty much probably give you guys the all clear now from the most extreme wind. Obviously, I know that it is raining copious amounts right now, but of course the damaging straight line winds are going to be moving on now towards the Morton, Mississippi area and crossing the 13 corridor near the Cracker Station, Independence, Mississippi, and Pulaski, Mississippi, also Frogtown, as well as Morton, Kaleem, I hope I'm saying that correctly, and Raworth along the 80 corridor that is just north of the 20 corridor. And then, of course, you're going over here towards the Forest, Mississippi area as well. So if you were located on the 13 corridor or the 80 corridor, this is going to be bearing down on you right now in downtown Morton, Mississippi. And let me see. Okay, so the Weather Service in Jackson has dropped Madison County from the severe thunderstorm warning. So Madison County, you guys are through with the severe weather for now. They continued the warning for Jasper Lake, Neshoba, Newton, Rankin, Scott, and Smith counties until 11:45. So once again, we have damage that is coming out of Brandon, Mississippi. And we've also got a damage report now of trained weather spotters that is 1 mile south of the Jackson Airport now, trees blown down in Old Brandon Road. So we've got multiple reports of damage coming in now from the Brandon, Mississippi area. We've got a tree down on a house in Crossgates neighborhood. And now we've got trees blown down in the Old Brandon Road area. So multiple reports of damage are coming in, and there, of course, is one of the damage reports right there. This is going to be a tree blown down on a house in Crossgates neighborhood. So this is going to be really close to the airport, the international airport, also near the Grove Park. And there, of course, is the other one, tree blown down on the Old Brandon Road area. So we've got multiple reports now of damage coming in really close to the Grove Park area, really close to the Jackson Airport. And that, of course, was the area where Jackson Airport reported 60-mile-per-hour winds about 30 minutes ago. All right, so we've got multiple reports of damage coming in from the Jackson metro area and Brandon, Mississippi. And right now, this is coming in on the Morton, Mississippi area, getting over here towards the Forest, Mississippi area. And your damaging wind line is going to be pushing through Morton right now. And then, of course, it is really going to be blowing up down here towards the 13 corridor, moving towards the Polkville area as well. And then next up is going to be Forest, Mississippi, and the 35 corridor, which runs right through Forest, Mississippi. And that, of course, right there that I'm drawing is your line of extreme wind that is going to be on the upwards end of 70 miles per hour. It is going to be crossing near the Raworth area. I hope I'm saying that correctly. The Raworth area coming down the 80 corridor. And then next up will be Forest, Mississippi, right where 80 crosses 35. Right there in central Mississippi. Okay. And once again, if you're watching in East Mississippi, this is coming towards the line of Meridian, Mississippi. So this will eventually impact the metro of Meridian, Mississippi. And of course, I do note that there are other storms in progress across Yazoo City and the 55 corridor. Let me look at those and make sure there's nope. That's just going to be heavy wind coming through Yazoo City, and that's going to be heavy wind coming through the Pickens and Goodman area of Mississippi right now. No active tornado warnings or severe thunderstorm warnings other than this one that includes Forest, Mississippi. But we are going to have to keep our eyes on both of those as they continue to move off towards the north and to the east, because both of those are there by themselves. And of course, they are in an environment that can spin up a quick tornado. Even though they have a massive rain to the south of them, it doesn't look like that they're being influenced by that right now. So this one down here near Yazoo City really needs to be watched. And then this one down here towards the Durant and Goodman, Mississippi area needs to be watched as well. And then, of course, you've got other storms that are in progress, basically from Port Gibbons down to Fayette, Mississippi. Then, of course, you've got this line of severe storms that is basically from Brookhaven, curving all the way back up to Forest, Mississippi, and just south of Walnut Grove, Mississippi. Now, if you were in Walnut Grove, Mississippi, this is going to be staying south of you, which is going to be really good news. Now, you're going to see some heavy rain, but the damaging straight line winds is going to be really south of you. And I do note that there is some showers that are moving up towards the forest area as this line of storms pushes into the area of forest. And anytime you have this interaction right here, that can cause a quick, brief spin up tornado. So if you were in Forest, Mississippi, I would go on ahead and get to my safe place right now in the event that there is a quick spin up tornado because of those two storms that are going to be connecting here in just a minute with the storms that are moving north out of the 35 corridor and moving towards the Forest, Mississippi area within a matter of moments. So once again, you've got a severe thunderstorm warning with damaging winds in excess of 70 miles per hour. That is the reason that I'm here, is because damaging winds of 70 miles per hour is no joke. We've also got two damage reports coming in from Jackson towards the Brandon, Mississippi area as well. And the good news is we have not had a message from the Jackson, Mississippi National Weather Service in about 10 minutes, which is really good. So yeah, that's basically what's going on. Okay, so the Weather Service has issued a severe thunderstorm watch until 5 a.m. For the following counties of South and Southeast Mississippi. That does include McGee, Brookhaven, Laurel, Hattiesburg, and Meridian. So you guys are now underneath a severe thunderstorm watch until 5 a.m. for the following areas of Brookhaven, McGee, Laurel, Hattiesburg, and of course, Meridian. So that's what's going on right now in the state of Mississippi. And I'm also looking okay, we're also getting reports now of flooding. Yes, flooding in Hinds County, Mississippi, over Briarfield Road. So, flash flooding reported around Briarfield Road, which is in Hinds County, Mississippi. Okay, so the Weather Service is continuing the severe thunderstorm warning until 11:45 for Copa, Lincoln, and Simpson counties. And that, of course, is going to be for the southernmost storm. So for McGee, Taylorsville, Mize, and Mendenhall, your severe thunderstorm warning is going to continue until 11:45, and then we've got this other one that includes the Hazelhurst and Brookhaven, Mississippi area, and that one goes for another 30 minutes as well. Now, let me also look at this other storm down here south of Fayette, Mississippi. Not really seeing anything that would indicate any kind of rotation within that storm. So that is a good thing. You've also got multiple severe thunderstorm warnings back north of Alexandria, Louisiana, which is eventually going to push towards the Natchez, Mississippi area. But the good news is no active tornado warnings back in that area, just the copious amounts of rain and wind, upwards of 70 miles per hour, coming through the Morton and Forest, Mississippi area right now. And once again, there, of course, is your extreme line of wind that is moving from Forest over towards the Newton, Mississippi area. And I do note that it is starting to take a track more off towards the southeast rather than towards the east. So it may actually miss Newton altogether. And hopefully, if this trend continues, this will stay south of the Meridian metro area, as I do note a quick turn off towards the southeast right there over the last little bit. So instead of this going more towards the east, it looks like it is trying to slide a little bit more south of east. And that, of course, would put the metro of Meridian, this moving south of Meridian, which would be a wonderful thing because that would not entail any strong winds coming into the Meridian, Mississippi area. So once again, copious amounts of rain is moving into Morton and Forest, Mississippi, with the damaging winds in excess of 70 miles per hour, moving towards the Forest, then of course the Newton and Hickory, Mississippi area as well, and then getting down here towards the Montrose and the Lewin, Mississippi area as well, north of the Bay Springs and over towards the Raleigh, Mississippi area here within the next 10 to 15 minutes. And there, of course, is what we're warning for, is that extreme line of wind that is moving from Morton all the way down to Forest and is now moving towards the area of Forest, in between Forest and Montrose, Mississippi, along the 15 corridor. It is sitting right on top of the 35 corridor right now, south of Forest, near the county line, near the Homewood area in Otho, Mississippi, also near the Wicker, Mississippi area and the Lorena, Mississippi area as well. And then Puckett is really getting it right now. And then Raleigh, Mississippi, along the 18 corridor. You guys are going to be up next. All right, so let's see what Jackson said. Okay, 3 miles north of Brandon, the public reports social media power lines on the street at the intersection of East Metro Parkway and Crossgate Drive. So we're getting more reports now of thunderstorm wind damage coming through Brandon, Mississippi. So let me go back over here. and it has not popped up yet for Brandon. We do not have that report yet on the radar. However, the Weather Service over in Jackson is saying that in Rankin County in Brandon, social media reported that power lines on the street at the intersection of East Metro Parkway and Crossgate Drive. And that, of course, correlates with the other report that we had trees blown down on a house near the Crossgates neighborhood. So lots of reports are coming in from Brandon, Mississippi right now, and that, of course, was at 10:46 this evening. So not that long ago. All right. So let me reassess the situation for you guys. We've got multiple severe thunderstorm warnings that are ongoing right now in the heart of Mississippi. We've got a severe thunderstorm warning that includes the Copa, Lincoln, and Simpson County, Mississippi area until 11:45. That area is with winds of 60 miles per hour and hail up to quarter sized. We've got a severe thunderstorm warning that includes the areas of Jasper, Leake, Neshoba, Newton, Rankin, Scott, and Smith counties. Those areas damaging winds in excess of 70 miles per hour, and that warning goes until 11:45. So, the warning that includes Forest, Mississippi, and Newton, Mississippi, this one up here, goes for 23 more minutes for the area of 70 mile per hour winds and quarter sized hail and a tornado possible. The one down here for McGee and basically Mize and Taylorsville, Mississippi, this one is for winds in excess of 60 miles per hour. And the other one down here that includes the Brookhaven and Weston, Mississippi area, that one is in excess of 60 miles per hour as well. So that is what's going on right now in Mississippi. And I do want to thank all of the people that are listening to this now. As soon as the Weather Service drops the winds in this down to 60, I will sign off here. But 70 mile per hour winds and 80 mile per hour winds are nothing to play around with. And this warning, when it was closer to Brandon, had winds in excess of 80 miles per hour with it. So as long as they keep the 70 mile per hour winds on this warning, I'm going to continue to stay here until it drops to 60 miles per hour or until it moves out of the state of Mississippi. And it does look like that this is inching closer and closer and closer to moving south of the Meridian metro area, as you do see a slightward southeast track of this storm rather than a solid east track like it was doing when it was back over here in Jackson, Mississippi. Okay, getting more reports of in Hinds County flash flooding. Flash flooding is reported on Ridgewood Road. So if you were in the area of Lee Fleur's Bluff in Hinds County, flash flooding is reported on Ridgewood Road. All right, so we've got numerous damage reports of thunderstorm wind damage, and now we've got reports of flash flooding coming in from the heart of Mississippi. Okay. All right, so once again, okay, so we're getting reports now of wind damage and of shingles being blown off of a house in Brandon, Mississippi. Okay, so the Weather Service in Jackson is going to continue the severe thunderstorm warning and continuing it on to the south for Covington, Jefferson Davis, Lawrence, Lincoln, and Simpson counties. So there, of course, is your brand new severe thunderstorm warning that includes Brookhaven, Monticello, and Collins, Mississippi, along the 84 corridor. Also, Prentiss, Mississippi, Bassfield, and Silver Creek. Also near Mount Olive and New Hebron, Mississippi. This is going to be along the 13 corridor and the 84 corridor as well. So basically, if you were from Collins all the way back to Brookhaven, you guys are underneath a severe thunderstorm warning for the threat of damaging winds in excess of 60 miles per hour. And there, of course, is your line of severe wind that is moving from Brookhaven all the way up to McGee, Mississippi, moving towards the area of Monticello and Collins, Mississippi, as well as Taylorsville, coming up here within just a few minutes. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to reread you guys what severe thunderstorm warnings we currently have issued right now. We've got a brand new severe thunderstorm warning that includes Covington County, Jefferson Davis County, Lawrence County, Lincoln County, and Simpson County. That one goes until 12:15. We've got another severe thunderstorm warning that includes Copa, Lincoln, and Simpson counties. And on the Lincoln and Simpson counties, that's for the northern part of the county. That one goes until 11:45. Then we've got another one that is for Jasper, Leake, Neshoba, Newton, Rankin, Scott, and Smith counties, and that one goes until 11:45, and that one is capable of winds of 70 miles per hour. And just as I say that, the Weather Service updates that warning that I was just reading to you. Leak and Neshoba, you guys have been canceled from the severe thunderstorm warning. So if you were in Leak or Neshoba counties, you guys are through with this round of severe weather. However, it continues for Jasper, Newton, Rankin, Scott, and Smith counties for about 15 more minutes, and they are continuing with 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Okay, we do have a report of a tornado by emergency managers in Bolton with debris on Interstate 20 between Bolton and Edwards. So we did have a tornado that was confirmed over Bolton, Mississippi about an hour ago at 10:15. So that, of course, is when I started. This severe weather coverage was about 10:15 this evening because of a confirmed tornado that was on the ground in Bolton, Mississippi. And that, of course, is a confirm of that because the emergency managers report a tornado because debris was on the Interstate 20 between Bolton and Edwards at 10:15 earlier this evening. So, yes, there was a quick spin up tornado that was over Hinds County, Mississippi, near Bolton, Mississippi at 10:15 earlier this evening. Excuse me. All right, so there, of course, is your severe thunderstorm line right there that is moving through the areas basically in between Jackson and Meridian and stretching down to Brookhaven, Mississippi. If you were in Jackson, I can give you guys the all clear. If you were in Hazelhurst, I can give you guys the all clear. If you were in Yazoo City or Vicksburg, I can give you guys the all clear. Let me check on these storms that are back here north of Jackson. And the good news is I see a little bit of wind with them, but I don't see anything that would indicate that they are going to become tornadic at any time. So that is good right now. We've got strong thunderstorms in progress across the areas of Greenwood, Mississippi, also Winona, Mississippi, north of Carthage, and towards the Kosciuszko, Mississippi area. We've got another strong thunderstorm about to cross the 55 corridor near Pickens, Mississippi, north of Canton, Mississippi right now. And then we've got the severe thunderstorm warning that includes Forest, Mississippi, as well as Newton. That one is the one that has winds in excess of 70 miles per hour with 13 more minutes on that warning. You come on down the line and you've got severe thunderstorms that are impacting McGee as well as Taylorsville coming up here very soon, as well as Great Bay Springs, Mississippi. Then you come on down the line and Monticello and Brookhaven, you guys are up next, as well as the Collins, Mississippi area, and that warning is for winds in excess of 60 miles per hour. So the most dangerous storms on the board are going to be these up here towards the Morton, Forest, and Newton, Mississippi areas, getting really close to the 15 corridor, passing towards the 20 corridor, and just south of the Decatur, Mississippi area as we speak. So your strong line of wind is coming through Newton, Mississippi, stretching down at the 15 corridor, also the 501 corridor, moving towards the Raleigh, Mississippi area. And I do note that we've got a little bit of a couplet right here south of Raleigh, moving in this general direction right here. And we're going to have to keep our eyes on that, as well as heavy wind coming in between McGee and Mize, Mississippi, along the 28 corridor, also about to cross the 35 corridor. That could be winds in excess of 70 miles per hour as well. pushing from McGee over to Mize, Mississippi, and then getting over here towards Taylorsville. And then, of course, you go down here towards the Silver Creek area, Mount Hebron, Mount Olive, Prentice, Mississippi, and then Monticello, Mississippi, and then back into Brookhaven. And then, of course, they go non-severe once you get back southwest of the Brookhaven, Mississippi area, stretching back along the 84 corridor over here towards the Vidalia, Mississippi area. And then you've got more severe thunderstorms that are moving in from the Louisiana area as we speak towards the Natchez, Mississippi area right now. So there is no doubt that the most strongest winds within this line are going to be right here, basically moving between McGee and Mize, Mississippi right now along the basically the 28 corridor and the 35 corridor. And I would expect the Weather Service to up this warning to possibly 70 miles per hour as this continues to move down towards the Mize and Taylorsville, Mississippi area. And if you were watching me in Mize or Taylorsville, I would go ahead and get to my safe place right now and treat this like a tornado warning because this is very, very stout winds that are pushing and about to cross the 35 corridor right where Mize is, right where 35 intersects 28 down here in the town of Mize, and then coming towards Taylorsville as well. If you are near the Center Ridge or Beezer, Mississippi area, also towards Union, Mississippi, or the Cohay, Mississippi area, or Shady Grove, this is going to be the area of the most intense wind coming through Mississippi right now. And it's going to be down here south of Raleigh, Mississippi, moving towards the Mize and Taylorsville, Mississippi area right now. McGee, I can give you the all clear in about 2 minutes from now, as we're going to let this wind completely get over here towards Mize, and then I can give you guys the all clear right there for McGee, Mississippi. If you were in Mendenhall, I can give you guys the all clear as well. But the Weather Service is keeping it at 60 right now, but I would guarantee you in the next update, if they do another update, that's probably going to be winds in excess of 70. And that's a little bit of a couplet right there along the 35 corridor, very close to the Union, Mississippi area as well. So let me go back over here to reflectivity. And yeah, there's a little bit of a hook right there. Don't know why it keeps jumping like that. You got your hook, you got your inflow coming in right there, you got your hook echo, and of course, that of course is where we saw the uptick in the velocity there. Good news is that does not look like anything that would be down. It would be right there, because that is right there where the best couplet is, but that does not look like anything on correlation coefficient. So we just got an update, and the good news is I'm not seeing anything that would indicate that this thing is down, but that does not mean that it couldn't drop at any time. So if you are near Union or Beezer, Mississippi, also Center Ridge along the 35 corridor, and Cohay, Mississippi, you're probably going to want to get to your safe place and treat this like a tornado warning. Newton, Mississippi, getting over here towards Hickory, Mississippi. You've got winds about to approach you at 70 miles per hour. But no doubt the most intense line of wind is going to be this area right here. And it is going to be moving towards the Taylorsville area. And then unfortunately, if it holds together, towards the Laurel and Ellisville, Mississippi area as well. Let's see. Okay, so the Weather Service has issued a severe thunderstorm warning that includes Fayette, Mississippi, all the way over to Brookhaven and Monticello, Mississippi, for about the next hour and a half for damaging winds in excess of 60 miles per hour. And I'm guessing that that is going to be for the storms coming out of Louisiana. Now, I do note that there is a couplet just north of Bude, Mississippi. And if that holds together, that will be moving towards Brookhaven, Mississippi. And that is definitely a tornado signature couplet right there along the 84 corridor moving towards Brookhaven. So definitely going to have to keep an eye on that one. But once again, there, of course, is your line of wind. And let's look. And on the new update, the couplet is gone. Let me go back. Okay, good. So we got a brand new severe thunderstorm warning that does include Meridian. And for some reason, they're keeping it at 70, so I will stay right here. So, brand new severe thunderstorm warning that includes Meridian, also down to Quitman, Mississippi, for another hour. All right. So, Meridian, you guys are underneath a severe thunderstorm warning. Also, Hickory and Chunky, Mississippi, Enterprise, Stonewall, and Quitman, Mississippi, underneath a severe thunderstorm warning for damaging winds in excess of 70 miles per hour. Okay, so the new warning is for Clark, Jasper, Jones, Lauderdale, Newton, Smith counties. Yeah. Let me redo that. Clark, Jasper, Jones, Lauderdale, Newton, and Smith counties until 12:45, and damaging winds in excess of 70. So, if you are near Meridian, Nellyburg, Enterprise, Peshuta, Paulding, you're going to be around that time at 11:45 So coming up on you very, very soon. If you were in Heidelberg as well as Stonewall at 11:50, Quitman is going to be on top of you at 11:55, and then Tsumba as well as the area of DeSoto at midnight, and then Shibuya, Mississippi is going to be around you at 12:05, and then the Crandall, Mississippi area at 12:10. All right. So there, of course, is your brand new severe thunderstorm warning. That includes the area of Newton, all the way down to Montrose and Lewin, along the 15 corridor, as well as Hickory, Chunky, the 59 corridor, Enterprise, Stonewall, Quitman, Shibuya, Heidelberg, and Sandersville, Mississippi. This also includes Bay Springs. This is just north of Laurel and Ellisville, Mississippi. Damaging winds in excess of 70 for the next hour. All right, so but of course it does look like that the most intense wind are going to stay very, very far to the south of Meridian, Mississippi, which is good.
The National Weather Service in Birmingham has issued a
Okay, Birmingham is issuing severe thunderstorm warnings over here in Alabama for Dallas County. Okay. So that was what you heard. So let me. All right, so I do want to thank all of the people that are watching all of this severe weather that is ongoing across Mississippi right now. We've got a line of severe storms that are stretching from basically Meridian, Mississippi, all the way back to Natchez. There, of course, is your severe thunderstorm warning, your severe line of storms that are pushing in this direction. We've also got severe thunderstorms in Alabama, and we've also got them back in Louisiana as well, back here towards Natchez as well as Alexandria, Louisiana. And let me see what the Weather Service just did. All right, just like I thought they would for the Copa, Simpson, and Smith County severe thunderstorm warning, they've upped it to 70. All right, so All right, so all right, for Taylorsville and Bay Springs, Mississippi, the Weather Service has made this warning 70 miles per hour, and I think that that is a very good decision because of that wind that is coming through Taylorsville and Bay Springs, Mississippi. Bay Springs is also at 70 miles per hour. So, no doubt, this entire line, the most intense wind is going to be from a corridor of Bay Springs, Mississippi, all the way down to Taylorsville, Mississippi, moving in the direction of Laurel and Ellisville, Mississippi. So, there, of course, is your intense line of wind that includes 70 miles per hour moving into Bay Springs and Taylorsville, Mississippi, right now. So if you are along the 28 corridor in Taylorsville, Mississippi, go on ahead and be in your safe place right now and batten down the hatches because the strong winds are about to come through you right now. Also, if you are along the 18 corridor, which runs from Bay Springs up to Raleigh, this is going to be on top of you right now. Also, the 15 corridor where 15 and 18 cross right there in Bay Springs, this, of course, is going to be the area of concern right now. Also, if you are driving along the area of the 15 corridor from Newton all the way down to Bay Springs, Mississippi, do not do it. Pull off on the side of the road because tornadoes and severe wind of 70 miles per hour can flip your car. So it's better not to drive right now and let these winds pass on by. Okay, so we've got two warnings that include 70-mile-per-hour winds. We've got the one that includes the Meridian, Mississippi metro area, also Quitman and Shibuda, as well as the Bay Springs, Mississippi area. And we've got another warning that includes 70-mile-per-hour winds that is coming through the Taylorsville, Mississippi area right now. Okay, and for those of you that are driving around or maybe having to go to work here pretty soon, if you are in Hinds, Madison, or Rankin counties in Mississippi, flash flood warning through 1:30. So flash flood warning continues for Hinds as well as Meridian. Let me start that over. Flash flood warning continues for Hinds, Madison, and Rankin counties in Mississippi right now until 1:30. Once again, flash flood warning continues for Hinds, Madison, and Rankin counties in Mississippi until 1:30. Okay. No reports of damage have come in about 30 minutes, which is good, since that report of the tornado that was reported in Bolton, which is in Hinds County, Mississippi. So, Storm Prediction Center just posted a brand new severe thunderstorm watch. And that brand new severe thunderstorm watch goes all the way down to the coast. Okay, so the brand new severe thunderstorm watch goes all the way down to the coast, all the way down to Gulfport and Biloxi, south of Hattiesburg. So all of you guys are now down there underneath a severe thunderstorm watch. And I believe that watch goes. Let's see. $5 a.m. Okay. So So heavy wind is moving in towards Taylorsville and Bay Springs, Mississippi right now. We got damaging winds in excess of 70 for Taylorsville for 6 more minutes. And we've got severe thunderstorms for 50 more minutes for 70-mile-per-hour winds there close to the Bay Springs as well as the Meridian, Mississippi area as well. And then, of course, we've got to watch this area in between Prentiss and Collins, Mississippi as well, because that wind is really picking up closer to the 84 corridor, just to the west of Collins and Seminary, Mississippi. And there, of course, is your line of severe storms lined up from Meridian, Mississippi, all the way back to just outside of Alexandria, Louisiana. And they are moving east, southeast, and pretty much training over the same area along the 84 corridor. So if you're driving from Natchez over to Hattiesburg or Natchez over to Laurel and Brookhaven, there's going to be copious amounts of rain and flash flooding along the 84 corridor, which is, yeah, okay, I'm an idiot. That is the 84 corridor right there, that blue line. And within that line, if you are driving along the 84 corridor from Natchez over to Laurel, you're going to be in a lot of heavy rain for the next 2 hours, 3 hours. So just know that. Also, you've got winds in excess of 60 coming into Collins, also 60 coming into Monticello. You've got 70-mile-per-hour winds coming into Taylorsville, and 70-mile-per-hour winds has passed through Bay Springs, Mississippi, has passed through Newton, Mississippi, and is coming up on Meridian right now. Let me take a look. I just don't think Meridian's going to see that much.
The National Weather Service in Jackson, Mississippi has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for southeastern Smith County in central Mississippi.
So there, of course, is your brand new severe thunderstorm warning that includes Laurel, Mississippi, and its 70-mile-per-hour winds. So there we go again. All right. So if you are watching me in Ellisville or Laurel, along the 84 corridor, you've got winds in excess of 70 miles per hour coming towards you right now. And this is going to be for the areas of Covington, Jones, and Smith counties. So Covington, Jones, and Smith counties in Mississippi, damaging threat of damaging winds in excess of 70. Okay. And like I said, I do want to thank all of you that are watching me this evening. As we come upon the midnight hour. All right, so guys, I do want to welcome you to Friday. It is finally Friday, ladies and gentlemen, and you guys are watching severe weather coverage here on social media. I, of course, am Stephen Ray, and we've got multiple severe thunderstorm warnings ongoing right now from basically Ellisville and Laurel and Meridian, Mississippi, stretching all the way back towards the Alexandria, Louisiana area. Let's see. So, okay. So here is your severe weather threat, basically stretching from Meridian, Mississippi, all the way back to the Natchez, Mississippi area, and then back into Louisiana as well. I'm going to try and get it all in the area. And there, of course, is your severe line of wind that is stretching from Natchez, Mississippi, all the way over to Meridian, Mississippi as well. And there is the reflectivity. You've got multiple areas of storms that are impacting the 84 corridor as well as the 20 corridor and about to impact the 59 corridor up here, basically from Meridian all the way down to Sandersville and Heidelberg, Mississippi. So if you are driving between Meridian and Quitman, Mississippi, or Meridian and the area of Heidelberg and Sandersville, as well as Stonewall or Enterprise, your area is about to get hit with 70-mile-per-hour winds within the next few minutes. And then you come on down the line and it's coming through Collins and Taylorsville, Mississippi right now, as well as about to push through Ellisville and Laurel within the next 15 to 30 minutes. Then you come on down the line and Monticello, Mississippi is about to get hit again with another storm. And then back behind that, back in Brookhaven, you are about to get hit with yet another severe thunderstorm as you've had multiple rounds of those come through because that line is moving more towards the east. And then, of course, you've got more storms that are impacting the 84 corridor, basically from the area of Natchez over to Brookhaven, Mississippi as well. So there, of course, is the area of Natchez, Mississippi, along the 61 and 84. Bude, Mississippi, then going over to Brookhaven. All of these storms are severe. Then coming over here towards the Monticello and Silver Creek area, Prentice, got another storm that is impacting Collins and Mount Olive. Then it curves north to Taylorsville, curving north to Bay Springs, Mississippi, over to Enterprise, Stonewall, and then Meridian, Mississippi. And then you get north of Meridian, and it is all rain, other than a few storms north of Philadelphia. But let me see if those look severe at all. And from Jackson, they do not. And from Columbus, they do not. So basically, your severe weather is going to be from 2059 south. And I do note that the Weather Service did post a severe thunderstorm warning down here. For the area of the 61 corridor, the 24 corridor, and just west of Macomb for winds in excess of 60 miles per hour. And that is as this line drifts off to the south. And this includes the Centerville, Mississippi area, the Gloucester area, the Liberty area, Crosby, and Woodville, Mississippi area. But no doubt that your most intense line of wind is going to be from south of Meridian, coming towards Enterprise, Stonewall, and Heidelberg. No, not. So that line of wind is about to parallel the 59 corridor, basically from Enterprise all the way down to Heidelberg. So if anybody is driving along 59, it is about to get really windy south of Meridian, Mississippi, and west of Quitman. And then if you were down here along the 84 corridor, it is about to slam you as well, Ellisville into Laurel. Yes. For those asking, all right, hold on. Okay. For the person asking about Pontotoc, Mississippi, there, of course, is your weather right now in Pontotoc, Mississippi. You have very light rain falling, if anything, and this is going to stay well south of you. If you were in Pontotoc, the closest active storms, wrong one. The closest storms are going to be 50 miles to your south, and they are moving away from Pontotoc. So the person that asked about Pontotoc, Mississippi, you are in the clear for the rest of the evening. And basically, your severe weather is going to be confined now to south of the 2059 corridor. So if you were in Vicksburg, if you're in Jackson, if you were in Philadelphia, Carthage, Mississippi, Yazoo City, if you were up here towards Kosciuszko, Greenwood, Winona, and Starkville, yes, you're going to get a little rain, but your severe weather is going to be well south of you guys for the remainder of the evening. If you're in between Meridian and Hattiesburg, you guys are up right now for severe weather. And then for the people south of Hattiesburg, between Gulfport and Hattiesburg, you guys will continue to see this closer to daybreak as this slowly pushes from the area of the 84 corridor moving south towards the coast of Mississippi. So eventually it is going to try and sag a little bit more off towards the south and the east as we go along. It will eventually get to Hattiesburg, Laurel, and then it will get towards Columbia and Macomb, and then get down here towards Kentwood, as well as Franklinton and Bogalusa. Hope I'm saying that correctly, Louisiana. So this, of course, is slowly but surely dropping off towards the south and towards the east. And there, of course, as you can see, it is taking its time. And in order to do so, it is causing copious amounts of rain, especially, like I've said over and over and over, along the 84 corridor as well. And what you are looking at here is storm total rainfall amounts from this line of storms and getting over here north of Brookhaven. We are looking on the order of 2 to 3 inches of rain, basically from a line of Fayette, Mississippi, over to Beauregard and Wesson, south to Brookhaven. And then, of course, we've got copious amounts of rain that is still being felt in Clinton and Jackson, as well as Brandon, Mississippi, as those areas saw close to 2 to 3 inches of rain. So that, of course, is the rainfall totals that we are seeing right now. Okay, so the Weather Service just went tornado possible. No. No. For the one that includes Quitman, Mississippi, as well as Meridian. And I would have to agree with that. Right there. All right, so we got a brand new tornado warning. The Weather Service just issued a brand new tornado warning that includes south of Meridian. All right, so the Weather Service, we got a tornado warning now. And this is going to say south of Meridian, and this is going to say north of Quitman. This is going to be for the 45 corridor south of Meridian. And I do believe that this is going to stay mainly over southern areas and rural areas of Clark and Lauderdale County. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Savory, or 7 miles south of Meridian, moving east at 40. All right, Meridian, Causeyville, Middleton, Stable, and Zero around 12:15, 2 minutes. And then Snail, Mississippi at 12:20. So there is Stinson, as well as Wolf Springs, Pleasant Hill, and Cliff Williams, an increase. Okay. There is a little bit of a kink in the line right there south of Meridian that did prompt the tornado warning. And if you are down here along the 45 corridor south of Meridian near the regional airport, you need to be in your safe place right now. And I'm also getting a report of a cell tower is out near Baxter, Mississippi. So if you are watching or trying to get cell service out of Baxter, Mississippi, a cell tower went out, and that, of course, is at 12:01. So service is going to be spotty down here in this area if you are near Baxter, Mississippi. Okay, so let me back out and see where they issued another severe thunderstorm warning. Let's Man, there are so many severe thunderstorm warnings going on right now. I cannot even keep up. Okay. Okay, so the Weather Service is issuing a severe thunderstorm warning. All right, so the Weather Service has issued another tornado warning that includes Quitman. All right, so we got two areas of rotation now. That includes the Quitman, Mississippi area as well as the Increase, Mississippi area. Rotation number 1 is right there. Rotation number 2 is going to be north of Quitman, and rotation number 3 is going to be south of Quitman. So we've got 3 areas of rotation here in East Mississippi, and the one in Quitman is going to go into 115. And if you are near Pashuta, it's going to be on top of you right now. Quitman and DeSoto around 1220, Sykes at 1225, and Crandall at 1230. Okay. Good news is I do not see anything that would indicate that any of these are down. You've got a possible tornado, if that will quit jumping, that is south of Meridian, right here near Increase, Mississippi. It has crossed the 45 corridor. We've got another area of rotation coming into Quitman, and we've got a third one south of Quitman, Mississippi right now. And all of these
Alabama has issued a severe thunderstorm.
Okay, so the Weather Service in Mobile is issuing a severe thunderstorm warning that includes Waynesboro. Okay. So we've got 3 areas of rotation. One of them is going to be south of Meridian. We've got one that is going to be west of Quitman, and one that's going to be south of Quitman as well, along the 45 corridor. All right, so
The National Weather Service in Jackson, Mississippi has issued a tornado warning for central Clark County and east.
so the Weather Service is issuing another tornado warning. Where's that one at? Central Clark. No, I'm sorry. I take that back. All right, so the Weather Service has a tornado warning that is including Increase, Mississippi, as well as Cliff Williams and Pleasant Hill. That one is radar indicated. And then you've got another one that is coming into Quitman, Mississippi right now. And I'm guessing I probably need to go down to Mobile to be able to see that one. And of course, the Meridian, Mississippi storm is a little bit too far away to see. there is bad radar data that is coming into Meridian. But if you are near, in between Pleasant Hill, Cliff Williams, and Increase, Mississippi, near the area of Vinville, Causeyville Road, you need to be in your safe place right now.
Jackson, Mississippi has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for eastern Covington County in southeastern Mississippi, Jones County in southeastern Mississippi, until 1 a.m. CDT.
It's Covington and Jones. All right. All right, so we've got two areas of rotation. One of them is coming into Quitman as we speak along the 45 corridor as well as the 18 corridor. For Quitman, Mississippi, you need to be in your safe place right now. Also, Davis, Mississippi needs to be in your safe place. There's the 45, there's the 145, and there's the 18 coming through downtown Quitman right now, moving down towards DeSoto, Mississippi. And your other tornado warning is going to be close to the Increase, Mississippi area, about to cross the 19 corridor, which runs from Meridian all the way down to Butler, Alabama. So those are the two active tornado warnings that we currently have in place right now. And if you're going to have anything, it is literally going to be on the leading edge of this line of storms. It's going to be right here down through downtown Quitman, and then one that is along the 45 corridor that is south of Quitman and north of Shibuya. All right, and then of course you've got one up here close to Increase, Mississippi, but we can't really see that one because of bad radar data that is coming through the edge of the radar beam. You can't see it from Columbus. You can't see it from Birmingham, Mobile. Can't see it. And Hammond. You can see it a little bit from the Hammond, Louisiana radar, believe it or not, right there. And then, of course, right in there. The Weather Service definitely needs a radar somewhere in southeast Mississippi. All right. Because I do not know how they are being able to see any of this because we've got bad radar data because this is on the edge of the radar beam for Jackson. So the tornado has come on through Quitman. And the bad thing is, if this thing is down, the radar's not even going to pick it up. I don't think. So the reason you've got a tornado warning is because you've got a kink, a little bit of a bow in the line right there coming through increase. And then you've got this little notch down here to the south of Quitman. And that's the reason for the 2 tornado warnings. Is because you got the Boeing line coming through and about to push out of Lauderdale and Clark County and getting over into Butler County, Alabama. And once that goes over into Alabama, I will let it go and not cover that. Then, of course, you've got this other one down here towards Quitman, Mississippi, north of Shibuda. And it's going to come over here towards the Shiloh, Mississippi area, Chancellor Brewer, Junction City, Crandall, and the Threadville, Mississippi area as well. This is going to stay north of Shibuda, I think. And I do note that you've got another area of rotation down here south of Sandersville, northeast of Laurel. And that one is moving off towards the southeast as well. All right, so as soon as we get through with these tornado warnings, I'm going to sign off. So we've got a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado to the east of Quitman now, and one that we cannot even see east of Meridian. And I do want to thank all the people that are watching this. Let me see. Thank you, of course, for that comment right there, Tanya. I really do appreciate putting that here within the line. Okay, now let me see what the Weather Service. All right, so they're going to continue the tornado warning for Clark County, Mississippi, which is near Quitman. Good news is that it is still radar indicated. Oh, and we just did have a wind gust, a key field, which is in Meridian, Mississippi, 56 mile per hour winds. So, tornado warning will continue to 1:15 for Clark County, Mississippi, which does include Quitman. All right, so somehow we got the radar back. We've got that looks suspicious as all get out right there. I would not be surprised if we don't see anything down with that. That looks really tight. Okay, so we've got more of a Boeing line of wind that is coming through Clark County, Mississippi, northern Clark, and Lauderdale. That is about to cross over the 18 corridor and move into Alabama in between Increase and Hurricane Creek. That is the northern circulation. The southern circulation is near Quitman, about to push through Brewer, and then Junction City, Crandall, Carmichael, the Sells Prairie area, as well as Horn. So, tornadic portion number 1, tornadic portion number 2. Near Quitman, Mississippi, and near the Alabama state line, southeast of Meridian. So the northernmost storm, I can give it about 3 more minutes, and this one will be in the state of Alabama. And more than likely, that's going to stay north of the Lisman area over maybe towards the Pennington area. Definitely the tornado warning is going to stay north of Lisman, north of Butler, north of Pennington. Okay. So for those of you that may be watching over in Alabama, your possible tornado is going to be taking this track closer to Myrtlewood in Marengo County. But that's a little bit on down the road. The other tornado warning down here towards Quitman, that one is going to be moving more southeast towards the Toxie and Gilberttown, Alabama area. Of course, right now, it is in Mississippi. All right. Ooh. In Clark County, Mississippi, near the Dunn's Falls area, a tree fell onto an 18-wheeler on on Interstate 59 at exit ramp 137. So we've got thunderstorm wind damage of a tree that fell onto an 18-wheeler on Interstate 59 near the Dunn's Falls area of Clark County. I have no idea where that is. But there, of course, is the wind report of 56 miles per hour at Keyfield and Meridian. Whatubby? Boy, I tell you, these Mississippi names, I tell you what, man, that's crazy. All right, so what did the Weather Service just do? All right. In Stringer, in Jasper County, Mississippi, we've got trees and power lines down on County Road 17 near County Road 1721. So now we're getting reports of damage out of Jasper County, Mississippi. So let me go. Jasper County. Near where? Stringer. All right, so anyway, Okay, so your possible tornado is now going to be over into the state of Alabama for the northernmost storm. For the southernmost storm, it is going to be really close to the county line. All right, we've got trees and power lines down all along I-20 and I-59. So I am getting that report. Okay, the Weather Service has canceled the southern warning. So the tornado warning has been canceled for Clark County. So the tornado warning for Clark County has been allowed to expire. There is a damage report of a tree fell on an 18-wheeler, and that, of course, was right there where I said that was going to be right there on the exit ramp of 59. So we've got multiple areas of damage down here all along 59, as well as over towards the 20 area as well. And so we've got one, well, all right, so they canceled the tornado warning for Lauderdale. They've canceled it for Clark. All right, we are down to no active tornado warnings. However, we've got straight line winds coming in here towards Ellisville, Laurel, as well as the areas of Waynesboro, Mississippi as well. And we've got multiple areas of rotation within the line moving along the 84 corridor. We've got an area of rotation here. We've got one here. We've got one there. All right. Okay, for some reason the radar was not working there for a second, so I had to reset it. But once again, that is an area of rotation there. And I think that maybe not. Maybe that is definitely rotation, but I think this up here is bad radar data because we're getting so far away from the radar beam. Let me see what this looks like from Mobile. Okay, on that look, I don't see any rotation. All right, you saw a little bit at the very start of this right up here in this area, and then it just went away. Let's see. But guys, you can definitely tell where your wind line is, and it's basically going to be right here along the leading edge of this pushing into Hattiesburg. But the good news is Hattiesburg is not under any kind of warning right now. Wow, look at that. Let me look at the reflectivity. We've got a lot of wind that is coming through Monticello right now, Mississippi, and then another one that is to the northwest of Macomb. And these storms literally are just like on train tracks. They're just training over the same area down here in South Mississippi. But you can see a quick jog to the south and towards the east. So it is very slowly making its trek that way. But the individual cells are moving more towards the east. Now, if you were watching me up here towards the Tuscaloosa area, I do want to show you that we do have storms near us, near Livingston and Demopolis, that are severe thunderstorms. And then, of course, we've got moderate rain that is from Starkville to West Point to Columbus up to Amory, Mississippi, but none of that is severe. You may get a little bit of small hail north of West Point, east of Manatee, and near Aberdeen, Mississippi as well. There's a little bit of a hail core near Aberdeen, but not a big one. All right, so we've got reports now of thunderstorm wind damage coming in from Stonewall and from Newton, Mississippi. So we have thunderstorm wind damage coming in from Newton and Stonewall, Mississippi. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give this a couple more minutes to see what they do about Hattiesburg. And if they don't put Hattiesburg underneath the warning, I'm going to sign off. Because this is moving out of a very populated area into rural areas. I don't believe they're going to issue anything for Hattiesburg. I don't think. Getting tired here, people. I need coffee. Coming up on 12:45. I've been doing severe weather coverage since 10:15. And honestly, I don't think the Weather Service is going to do anything for Hattiesburg, because it does look like it's getting a little ragged up here towards the Ellisville area. All right, so you got multiple areas of 60-mile-per-hour winds coming over here west of Macomb, one northwest of Columbia. And then you've got other storms that are in progress over Ellisville and Laurel. And then the most intense is definitely going to be this one over here towards the area of Waynesboro, Mississippi, along the 84 corridor east of Laurel. But I tell you what, guys, this looks like it is slowly but surely winding down. And the reason I say that is because you see this outflow boundary that is out ahead of the main line. eventually, I do believe that that is going to kill this entire line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sign off for the evening. I will continue to watch things, and if another tornado warning is issued, I will be back here. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your evening. This line will slowly but surely continue to push on down towards the southeast and will eventually reach the coast by the pre-dawn hours in the morning near sunrise as you get down here towards Gulfport, Biloxi, and Pascagoula. Guys, hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening. Have a wonderful Friday out there. And guys, I'm going to sign off here. Hope you guys have a great one and going ahead and get some rest if you guys are north of the 2059 corridor, because this, of course, is going to be a South Mississippi ordeal for the rest of the